Let's talk about duck. We've been to some of the finest restaurants in the world, and
Right.
when it's done right, it is amazing.
Yes.
Now, it's considered poultry, but it's a dark meat. Don't eat duck and think you're going to get chicken, because you're not. So we have cooking classes, and I love to try new food on different people.
You do.
And so the other night, this group came in, and they were fairly adventurous, and they said, whatever you got, we'll try it. And I asked them, I said, how many people here would order duck on the menu? A couple of hands went up.
Most said no way.
Everybody that has ever had this, and we've cooked this for what, 100 people
Yeah.
over the years, everybody absolutely loves it. So try some grub you've never tried before. Where have you heard that before, Mrs. Farmer?
I don't know.
But here's what we're gonna do. To get your duck breast ready, this is a domestic duck. We're gonna go ahead and crisscross that, and we're gonna score that.
We're using one of these little tools. It works
Just
perfect.
using a box cutter. Now you're not going down to the meat, you're just getting into the fat.
That's
So
why
we're-
this knife works so good, because it doesn't go deep.
We're just gonna put a little bit of dry rub on here, including pepper, which I think is what's making me sneeze right now.
Probably. I'm gonna go both ways.
There we go, perfect.
There you go.
All right, so one thing we do have already here is some Brussels sprouts with olive oil, salt and pepper. And we're gonna put that in the oven at about 350. We're gonna crank that up at the end because that's gonna be the perfect side for our duck.
Yeah.
But I think we're ready to pop that in the oven now. So here's our duck, freshly scored. And I've taken some smoked paprika, a little bit of garlic, a little bit of
Yummy.
salt, a little bit of pepper. And there are so many combinations of things you can do. A lot of people like, you know, the old classics for duck are probably the coriander and cardamom,
Thyme.
things that
Yeah.
you would put in bologna.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
But this, to me, has a nice taste, and it's going to go with the sauce that we're doing, the reduction that we're doing a little bit later. A la Raoul.
Yummy.
And you want enough to really sit on there and get in, and let it set for several hours. We're going to put that in the refrigerator,
Uncovered.
uncovered, 6 to 8 hours at least. And then before you serve it, you want to bring it out and let that get room temperature
Right.
before you put it on. And we'll go ahead and pop this one in and grab a couple out that are
Magic of
ready
TV,
to
that's right.
roll. Duck can be very healthy in moderation.
Okay.
It has the right kind of cholesterol,
Oh.
the kind of cholesterol that you want.
Okay.
Good source of protein, but here's one particular about cooking. We have tried these every which way, oven, stove, and other methods. The one thing that I have found over time is you have to do this slowly.
Right.
And the one precious thing that comes out of this is your duck fat. And we will incorporate that into our reduction at a much later date. But here's what we're going to do. So many people, I think, in today's world, everybody seems to be in a hurry.
Right.
People seem to want to get things done fast. They put things in and they heat them up and they fire them up, and it's done on the outside, not done on the inside.
Exactly.
With our duck, I'm going to put these into a cold skillet, and I'm going to warm it up slowly.
Fat
20
side down.
minutes.
Fat side down.
Fat side down. You want that precious
Right.
fat and all that flavor's coming out of there. So at 5 after, these are going to be done.
Okay.
Now I'm watching my flame here, and gradually it's going to start cooking. You have to get that fat browned.
You do.
And when it's brown and then when it's perfect,
Oh, it's
there's
yummy.
nothing better.
It's yummy.
Now something else we're going to have is sweet potatoes. We're going to cut those up and use duck fat.
Ooh, yummy.
If you've ever been to a good restaurant and you've had potatoes of any type fried in duck fat,
The best.
oh my, and
The
it's
best.
much better in my opinion. And as we're looking through the food sciences, things are kind of changing. We're staying away from the seed oils. That's just us. And we're using this in moderation. We try not to fry too much stuff,
Right.
but on the occasion,
And I'll save this duck fat for later.
oh yes,
Keep using
absolutely, precious stuff. Let's see where we're at. Temperature looks right. We'll take a break and be right back in a minute. Look at that fat. That's what it's supposed to look like. Now, you can see that it's starting to cook a little bit on the top here. In just the last 3 minutes or so, I'm going to turn it over. She's cutting some shallots up really tiny. In a minute, all this duck fat and some shallots are going to make a beautiful, beautiful reduction. And then we're gonna have a meal fit for a king. And while she's cutting those shallots, I'm gonna go ahead and put some sweet potatoes in the duck fat.
Yummy. Ooh, yummy.
This will only take a minute. Now,
Ooh, that's perfect.
Would you look at that?
Yummy.
That's what you want it to look like. That's perfect.
Beautiful.
You got a little crust there, and that fat is going to be so flavorful. And I'm just going to cook that bottom side for 2 to 3 minutes. We're going to set that off to the side, and then we're going to serve that with a reduction. Oh. Now, most of the time when I fry something, most people are always 350 or above.
Right.
I hardly ever get above 300 degrees on my duck fat or olive oil. It will get there just fine like that. I may go 320, and that'll be the maximum when I'm frying up these wonderful
Those look delicious.
sweet potatoes. When we come out, we'll
Good.
put a little bit of natural salt on those.
Ooh,
I'm
yummy.
going to set these aside. Our duck breasts
Those look good.
are done.
Those are beautiful.
Now again, we want a little pink on the inside there. Think about this more of a red meat. Now we're immediately going to take our shallots. This
One
is
of
all
those?
coming together quickly. We're going to immediately put our shallots in here.
Cook it in that fat.
Cook it in
Yum.
that duck fat. And again, we're not getting crazy on temperature. I'm going to turn it up just a little bit because we do want a reduction here. And it just so happens to have just about the right amount
That's perfect, isn't it?
for this reduction that I'm going to do.
Your fries are looking good.
Now it's getting frantic.
Because everything's coming together at once.
Everything's coming together. Now, when you do this for about 10 people, it sounds like
A little crazy.
some of those TV shows where people are ripping their hair out and running around the kitchen. But we don't do that.
No.
We don't care anything about competitions and all that kind of crazy stuff. We just like people to have good food.
Those look good.
Look at
That
that.
smells really good.
Now, you don't want to get these crazy and you don't want to get them burnt. But that right there is just about what
Wow.
you want to see. Nice and translucent.
Perfect.
The fries are coming along nicely. As soon as they
Those
start
look
to get a
good.
nice little brown on them, they start to firm up. We should be good on that. So now, the next thing I'm going to do is come in with some cherry jelly.
How much you want?
Put that much, exactly that much.
That much?
And then let's take a la Raoul, some red currant jelly.
Not that much?
Perfect. We're going to take just a little bit of chicken broth.
Mhm.
Oh my. Then you're going to take a little bit of beef bouillon. That's perfect. You're going to let all
Yummy.
that become acquainted, as my grandfather used to say. All right, let's come back with just a little bit more currant jelly. Let's go ahead and use all our jelly.
All the currant?
Yeah.
All right.
A little bit more of the cherries as well.
All right. With the rest of it?
About half.
Half of it?
Beautiful.
That's beautiful.
Now, a little brandy.
Yummy. There you go. Ooh.
And we're going to let that cook down. When that brandy cooks out of there, all those
Perfect.
flavors are coming together. Fire alarm is not going off
That's good.
yet. Now look at this reduction. When you see all those little bubbles working in there,
Wow.
you know you got it about right. It looks to me like
Fries about
sweet
done.
potatoes are just getting there, nice and crispy.
I'm gonna pull these cookies. They've been 13 minutes. Those look pretty good.
Look at this reduction. Look at this reduction.
Cookies done.
Cookies
Put them
done.
back here.
Some big old chunks of cherries in there.
Ooh.
In a minute, you're going to see all this stuff on the same plate. Our Brussels are almost done, and we can't wait to show you what we've got. I don't know where to start, Mrs. Farmer.
This
Joe
is so-
already gave it a thumbs up, so
He
we're
ate
good
his
to go.
whole plate.
He did.
It's
What do you
gone.
think?
I'm gonna try some too.
Isn't that reduction good on there? Now this has a little sweet in the reduction, so when you come back to your Brussels sprout, you got a little salty
Yes.
with the soy. And the ingredients for that are just 2 tablespoons of soy, 2 tablespoons of honey, some red pepper flakes, and
Smoked paprika.
smoked paprika. And
Perfect.
you got yourself something special, and just to taste. Another thing, we had our mayonnaise right here. You need something to dip your fries in.
That's right.
So I made a little, took some mayonnaise. It was probably about 2 or 3 tablespoons.
Some of your homemade mayonnaise. Oh wow.
And I took some Cajun seasoning, just enough to taste. Now, depends on if you want some heat or not.
It's not bad. And I don't usually like hot.
Some
I like it.
sriracha, a little tomato paste, a little bit of smoked paprika in there as well, a little salt, a little pepper,
Perfect. It's really
and a
good.
little bit of tomato paste.
Oh yeah.
Did I say that? And then boom, mix that up and look
Delicious.
what you got.
Delicious. That's
Look what you
perfect.
got.
Perfect sauce.